All right, we're going live. All right, folks, we're live. We're in. Let's kick it off with an intro first. All right, good evening and welcome to Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. This is your host, Raph, speaking, streaming to you live high above the keep at my beach house. Just kidding, I'm renting. On vacation here with my wonderful co-host, Neindorf. Neindorf, how you doing? All right, well, I'm pretty excited to chat with you and some of our YouTube viewers tonight. I've been away on vacation now for a few days, and as I just got kind of done explaining to you pre-show, haven't even had a chance to really quest. And you know, when the perilous journey results were coming back in, I was driving from one vacation spot to another, and the lovely other Gen Zero in our family, she was trying to navigate DeFi Kingdoms for me. And it's kind of funny. She's like, so this is what you call investment in cryptocurrency? This just looks like a video game to me. And I'm like, yeah. You see those things right there? They're actually worth a fair amount of money. And yeah, then I had to explain why heroes are worth so much money. And that was quite an interesting conversation. Anyways, a couple hours later, Neindorf and I have our results now. So I'm really excited to talk to you about what's going on. There was an AMA today that I was not prepared for and couldn't drop in on. But let's just go ahead and get started with the question of the day. Yeah, I would say, all this talk about recreational stamp potting, I'm feeling a little stoned, I guess you might say. Yeah, it's definitely a little dizzying when I looked at my inventory and I'm like, oh my goodness, what are all these things? It was so much easier when I called them death crystals before Mr. Zipper corrected me. But here we are, and now actually I've been like paralyzed with fear, and I haven't leveled up any of my heroes yet that came in a few hours ago, and so hoping to do that, maybe live on stream. Uh-oh. Our viewers can't hear you, or our listeners can't hear you right now. Um, Let me try to figure out things on the fly. Desktop audio. Why isn't it picking up your voice? Well, that's gonna make this a... Yeah, 1 second. Sorry, listeners, and thanks for saying something. Try saying something again. Okay, it must be... Try and one more time. All right, let me... Advanced audio properties. For some reason, my OBS isn't picking you up. And I've never not had to pick you up before. Alright, try that.
Hello.
Alright, now we got you back. Okay.
We're in.
Super duper. Alright, let's make sure our YouTube listeners can hear you now.
Yeah, so
YouTubers.
basically we were just talking about the random shapes and awesome inventory items, right?
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah, we're getting some yays now. All right, well, thanks for the save, everyone, because this would have been a total podcast fail. I would have completed we would have completed this whole thing with just me talking, and I don't think anyone really wants that. It tires my wife at least. All right, so yeah, so your question of the day was, well, ultimately you got to hear my crappy punchline to your good question of the day, talking about lesser wit stones. And now we've been going, and you just mentioned that your favorite one is the shape of the donut, right?
Yeah, these I'm gonna have to get used to what, I just got used to the plants and the fish, and now I'm gonna have to a whole bunch of icons here now I'm gonna have to get used to. But that's pretty sweet though.
Yeah, it is quite overwhelming at first, and well, we're we're in for quite the new set of adventures. Let's go ahead and start with talking about the AMA. You were able to catch it. So speaking of new and exciting things, what's coming on down the pipeline, and I guess help educate me from scratch since I haven't had a chance to look into any of this.
Sure. So we'll start maybe back with the Monday Mechanics AMA. There was a lot of good material there. We'll just hit on some of it here real quick for our listeners. I thought one of the important things they started finally talking about were next level quests. We've been wanting to know more about that a lot. And I guess the gist of it in this sense is that they're coming shortly. They're working on them, and that you can expect the rewards to be better XP and probably more items, and then possibly advanced items like the moksha runes, and then additionally there might be some uh, crafting items to look forward to. So that's pretty cool. And then next, they talked about pets a fair amount, which I was really excited for. We've got a thing going on our Discord where kind of we were talking about pet eggs and what everybody had collected. I finally got the last one I was missing. I pulled in a yellow just
Nice,
yesterday, I think it
nice.
was. So
I
I'm up
still
to
don't have a
10 now, which
gray.
is crazy.
Holy moly! Well, that's I would say you're quite lucky, but maybe this is an ominous
Yeah,
foreshadowing to
in,
the results
in
of the
certain
PJ. But yeah,
in certain regards,
yeah,
perhaps.
I don't have a gray egg yet, so
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, it's okay, cool. Is there going to be pet rarity?
So it depends on how you read what they said. They described rarity in pets in the same sentence. However, my take on it was that the abilities or the boosts provided by the pets would have varying degrees of rarity, as in it might not be a common one that you see, or like maybe it's a 0.5% of pets have this ability or this booster, but not in the sense that they're going to be like a blue card like the rare heroes, right? That was at least my take on it. And I think that was intentionally vague, so they could kind of still, work out some details. But yeah, I definitely took it as in the sense that their abilities will be rare, not the cards themselves. Or I don't even know if they will be cards actually.
Ah, okay. I hope they're cards. I think that'd look pretty cool, but I guess do you know like so there's going to be multiple creatures per each color, is that right?
Yeah, and they kind of made it seem as if the different eggs. Obviously, like I don't think they'll be. It's not going to be a bun bun in every color of egg, right? I think it'll
Mm-hmm.
be they should have some specifics across for where they came from. At least that's the theory now. So, yep.
Nice. Well, that's really exciting. Looking forward to those little critters hatching.
Oh,
What
absolutely.
what else did you learn in the AMA?
Yeah, so they said that they're working on land tournaments and they're happy with the new system they've come out with. And then to support that, they're also working on their traveling system, which we've been predicting that for a long time. And so finally now some of these things are really that we've been talking about for months on our podcast here for our listeners. They're kind of going to start to be coming into fruition here. So this is pretty cool to see.
Awesome. That is it's pretty cool, and I guess one part reading the between the lines on the AMA notes, and one part getting lucky, I suppose.
That's right.
Getting those donuts. All right. Anything else that you want to go through from the AMA standpoint?
There's a few other minor items like an updated roadmap's coming. I think that's cool. We'll look forward to that. They talked about garden request improvements. Finally, that's going to be coming. We've been, struggling to get all our gardeners quested out one at a time, and I think they're going to be able to batch those up. So that'll be great. But the big one was a little bit of alpha drop on tournaments, and then there's like a leaderboard mechanic that's coming out. And they
Oh
even said that this leaderboard mechanic could be a day, a week, a month based leaders, and it could possibly even reward out Gen Zeros. So stay
no
tuned. Stay
way.
tuned, everyone.
I think yeah, you know, I we've obviously been super bullish on the the combat aspects of the game between you and and I think most of our community over on Discord. And I think that's the only way for this game to become sustainable and really differentiate itself from being, essentially just trading cryptocurrency is it has to
Right.
provide some kind of long-term value. And they manufactured a lot of their value by, creating a token and an idea and then creating accelerated rewards for those tokens. But
Yep.
if the long-term macroeconomics are going to work out, you need to have something that people want to play and ultimately, people want to buy into. It's cryptocurrency. There have to be winners, there have to be losers, and that, comes from a financial perspective. And so people have to want to pay to play the game in order for this whole thing to work out. And so, I think it's, one part on all of us to get our friends involved, and then one part, we really need the development team to come up with a game that people want to play in the long term. And so, having a leaderboard system to me, that sounds like really healthy progress towards understanding, what a future community is going to need.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. I totally agree. And it's kind of funny. So I finally convinced one of my number one mentors at work to kind of finally create a MetaMask account, and he's got his one in Binance. He's waiting the 10-day withdrawal periods. He can't play yet. So I sent him a few ones so he could at least create a profile and navigate the game. And I've been helping him get into it too. And he's finally decided to do it. And you know what? He was kind of giving me a hard time. He's like, you should have me on the podcast so I can ask all the stupid questions. And I was like thinking about that, and I was like, honestly, we were really get into this advanced topics, but there's a lot of people who are coming into this game daily. And I think maybe once Avalanche kicks off here, maybe you get a whole flood of new people. Maybe we should take him up on his offer and invite, a newbie on board and have him ask all the questions that we, have long forgotten were questions.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's exactly what we need to do. And I'm feeling actually a little underprepared for um, making sure that we're jeweled, bridged over, and ready for Avalanche too. I have not done that yet. I've not bridged any jewels. So, my heroes, some of them have made it and come back, but my jewel has not.
Well,
All right.
speaking of having come back or not,
Yeah. Speaking of that, how'd you fare on the journey? I'll let you go first.
sure. So I had sent 8 heroes out. I believe I had a couple. I would say I had three what I would call more of my top tier heroes, and then there was a couple mediums and a couple lows, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I ended up with 3 of 8 surviving. So if you look at the raw odds in that sense, that's roughly the 40 some percent that you know they were predicting. Now, however, unfortunately, I seem to have lost 2 out of 3 of the good heroes, and the rest of the ones that survived were all the lower tier heroes. So I got wrecked a little bit, but that means better crystals, right? So I mean, I just got to juice up other heroes. So the 2 losses that hit me were a mythic warrior level 6 and
Ooh.
a rare sage level 3. So those are my two ouch moments, but we'll survive. I've got other heroes. Now those guys are going to benefit from their buddy's sacrifice. So
Yeah.
trying to stay positive.
Well, I'm pulling for you. I would say, yeah, that mythic warrior, that one's painful, and I think he dropped
Yes.
a major enhancement stone or whatever they're called on him too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I had the atonement where I had boosted his health too. So it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Hindsight, I should have held on to all those, but you don't
You
know what
never
you don't know, and
you never
got to
know.
play the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I would say I ended up faring probably better than I deserved, and my two, and I have the crew records up right now, but I think only a couple of the boats, not all of the boats, are showing up right now here on my Lost at Sea. Um, the big ones that I lost one of my sages, and I lost a legendary thief as well that I was grooming to have super luck, and so he was a legendary thief. So I was really
Oh
excited
yeah.
about that. And then of course the rare sage that's painful, and that's the one that I had the oopsies on, where I accidentally sold him when I was trying to
Oh
summon him,
man.
and then bought him back, and so he's ended up just being a turd of an investment. So in some ways,
Good
let's
riddance.
hopefully these raffle tickets pay off. He wasn't meant to be in my wallet long term, I guess. Is
Yeah,
where I'm
yeah,
at. But
yeah.
right
That's
now that there's like all these inventory items, and the last podcast that we had, which feels like ages ago now, one of the pieces of advice we gave our listeners is never level up without using some kind of, and it would be stones are for leveling up, or crystals, I can't remember.
crystals,
Crystals,
crystals. Yep.
without using some kind of crystal. And so I'm trying to take that to heart, and look at that, and so maybe we'll even do a few level ups here live towards the end of the broadcast. I actually have quite a few things stacking up. I sent out a few heroes out at level 4, and so they're coming back and they're ready to earn that level 5 boost as well, plus the plus 5 to 3 different stat categories. So I'm pretty
Oh, the
excited.
rarity roll. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that rarity roll coming in. Looking forward to that.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll have to do that live. That'll be pretty cool.
Okay. All right. Anything else on the perilous journey that you want to talk about?
I think the other topics I have maybe we can save for more of our combat discussion. I think they'll feed right into that nicely.
Okay. Nice, nice, nice. All right. Let's go to Dev Dive a little bit. So you have some nice developments going on right now. Why don't you fill our listeners in on that?
Yeah, so thank you everybody on our Discord for voting on some features they wanted to see. We were able to get some of those pushed out here over this last weekend. Some different features for alerts, more information, extra options, and hero matching as well. So yeah, I appreciate all the input that we've getting, and continue to get more input. So yeah, we'll probably do another one in another month or so. I feel like about every month I put one of those votes out so that we kind of get a feel for what people are looking for and what's missing. So I really appreciate that. And then yeah, the next big thing is I've basically completed the upgrade in the backside of the site for the payment system. I haven't upgraded the actual process of doing it yet. So that'll be coming here shortly. We're getting much closer to upgrading our payment system to our, I always like to say, like we said, the parking meter style, where Jewel will get you so much time. And we're still fine tuning those formulas yet to figure out how far is a Jewel going to go, for example. So we'll keep you guys all informed on that. But yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So we haven't really talked about this very much offline, but I think I'll probably turn off the anchor payments, sometime here within the week. That way we give ourselves plenty of time to, turn on the other payment system. Like we've mentioned a couple times, we don't want anyone feeling like they had a double pay for a month. And so, message us if you think there's anything, that is confusing to you, or you feel like you're getting double charged with Anchor, or those payments keep going through or haven't stopped. I believe it's just a light switch button for me, and so I should be able to turn everything off. But obviously, we want that feedback. We don't want anyone feeling like they're getting hosed through this system. So ultimately, we're trying to get this. I think one part, get this into the cryptocurrency realm. Kind of support the ecosystem. And then the other part, just make it a lot more direct. And so, we don't need Anchor taking a cut on this. And this is the kind of funding that goes directly into building up the website. And actually, you just sent me a text message. Was it yesterday or this morning? I don't know. I'm losing track of time here on vacation with all the traveling I'm doing. But we're upgrading the database on the website. And we need to figure out how we're going to connect to that, but that will give us live access to the hero data and not having to query it every single time, right?
That's right. And yeah, there's the API that the devs gave us is fantastic, right? So it allows us to do pretty much everything the site already does. There's some blockchain data too, but most of it is from the API from the devs. So they did a great job, of providing us that first layer of functionality. But for some of the more powerful things we want to do, maybe some of the BI reports we've discussed, and some of these combat charts, we need to have all the data at our fingertips.
Yeah.
And so that's going to allow us to really start to feel out these next big features of the site. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, kind of now becoming a long-term goal of mine, but I'm really looking forward to doing some more advanced analysis on floor price and then, tracking that data over time. And like you're saying, you really need that to be data-based because, it doesn't matter if you can look at what the current price is. You actually want to see how the prices are trending. And at some point in time in the future, I'd even like to look at how prices trend with also the price of Joule compared to US dollars trends as well on a different axis. So you can kind of get a feel for, I think floor price in US dollars and floor price in Joule on Gen Zeros is something that, is kind of near and dear to us. And I think it will be a good indicator of the health of the game going forward.
Yeah, great points. Yeah, I love that.
All right. Well, on YouTube chat here, we have JHW3D. He just said, Hero of the Day alert, which is where we're going next. There's a level 5 wizard in the tavern with 28 intelligence for 100 Joule.
No way.
Yeah, so I
I
have
I
not
bought
looked.
a wizard that I sent on the perilous journey that had like 23 or 4 for more than that.
Yeah,
uh,
that is crazy. So let's see, 28. Oh, it must be this guy right here. Yeah, that's crazy. So he is a common wizard, Welch Forbend. Yeah, I'm not sure about that name. Level 5, and yeah, he has 28 intelligence, and so that must have been wisdom and intelligence that were boosted. I mean,
wow, that's high for a common level 5.
that is really high. I mean, I don't know what the timing on the survivors, and he is a survivor.
Yep.
I don't know what the timing of the survivors quest is going to be. Okay, so let's just jump over here and look at, because it's our stats are a little bit out of whack in terms
Hmm.
of we need to recalibrate what's out there. So
Yeah,
let's.
I've got some data prepared for
Oh,
that
great!
here
Yeah, yeah,
too
yeah.
while
Go
you're
to that.
pulling it up. So, I'd been talking with some people about, and we maybe mentioned that I've got a rare summoner I've kind of been grooming here with the Stampots, right? And I looked this morning, and there were only 21 heroes in the game with intelligence of 29 or greater. When I looked this afternoon, about I think it was 6 o'clock, there were 240 now that had 29 or greater. So those perilous journey survivors have catapulted to the top of the list.
Oh,
Now
they
there are
sure have.
there are only 27 heroes with intelligence of 33 or above now. So the bar has effectively shifted from 29 to 33 for that top here, like that
Yeah.
20 some heroes. So that's kind of what I'm noticing is, 25, if you got a hero with a stat that's at 25, 26, might not really be all that exciting anymore. So I think we'll have to keep an eye on
Interesting.
that.
Yeah, there are above 100 heroes, it looks like, above intelligence 30. So, and like
Yep.
he's in 33 now, just since your research, there's now
Yep.
33 on 33 intelligence or higher. So,
Wow.
wow, that's a
So the
lot.
numbers
So,
are going up as more people. Well, and I guess we haven't boosted our heroes yet either. So
yeah,
technically, some of ours might leapfrog into these lists too.
yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm starting now to wonder. I left my one Dark Knight behind because he had a strength of 29, um, and he just he's part of the pack instead of being out in front, and it's making me, I guess I'll call it, regret not sending him. Gosh,
He's
that's pretty
so
crazy.
I hear you. I think he's got Mythic going for him though, right?
No, that Dark Knight has legendary going for him. So
Okay, legendary. Even still though, so
yeah,
at level 10, he'll catch up to some of these
I
heroes.
hope so. Yeah, yeah, we'll
So I
see.
think in using these stones, sorry, the crystals effectively, that's a whole nother topic I want to get into on another podcast because the percentages that you boost in the crystals is larger for your subclass. So I think we need to be very careful how we use them and not waste them, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But that might be, I'm not really quite prepared. I haven't done enough research on the percentages and how many of these are and what the jewels are going to cost yet. So stay tuned, everybody. I think that's something that we'll maybe try to get into on our next episode.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Anything else that um, you want to go through on a hero of the day kind of a topic?
Yeah. So like I mentioned, I was kind of bringing in my coworker, right? So we went through that exercise of just looking at because he was going to end up starting the game with I want to say he said 100 jewel just to kind of test the waters. And so we were looking at a bunch of different things. We were looking at, well, what's the cheapest? I had him do the exercise of let's look for A, you don't have money in the gardens or the mines yet. So ignore gardeners and miners. So we're
Mm-hmm.
just looking at fishers and foragers. And so then we're like, well, now let's narrow the universe down to those that have a 10 profession score or better so that you can actually start getting some good items right away. And honestly, we were able to find a couple decent heroes with maybe one boost that matched I think it was an uncommon with about a 10 profession score and it was like I want to say 45 jewel. So there's some really
Wow.
good like lore price heroes that can be really good questers for these entry level players. And I mean that's still a lot of money, right? But it's a pretty much there's not a lot of risk I would say in that hero purchase. They have just the value that they pull in just from questing them out. And then you're going to get runes pretty. I mean, you'll get runes decently with the 10 level 10 plus hero, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they're going to gain XP, and they're already probably leveled up maybe 3 times with that much experience. So you're already getting a lot of value baked into these heroes. So that's the sort of stuff. I don't have a specific hero here for you, but that's the sort of stuff I went through with him, and he was really finding, he found that extremely valuable. So maybe
I
that's
like
my
that.
exercise of the day.
Yeah, I think that's, just an added approach. Going to that skill section and looking at that, we've talked a lot about stats and how that plays into combat, but for someone who's looking to try to start returning on a hero right away, that skill section, that's what's going to give you that value. If you're starting to invest right now, PvP is still potentially a long-term investment.
Yeah.
That some of us long-term players might have more of a luxury of being able to do. So that's a great point, and certainly something that we haven't done before.
And then I think to kind of put the nail on that one, I purchased a rare paladin miner from one of our Discord members, and for the goal of trying to help me unlock that jewel. And I didn't really think about it a whole lot. I'm like, oh, that's like top tier miner, right? And I brought him in. I'm like, wait a minute, my uncommon monks are pulling in more at the moment. And then it really just boils down to that profession score.
Oh yeah.
He's still working up that profession score. He's catching up now. But yeah, for a new player, that profession score is really probably one of the most important stats as far as getting in some ROI.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right. Well, anything else we want to go over? Combat corner or hero of the day style?
Looking over my notes to see if there was anything from the AMA. I guess this is related. They did say that their current stats that they're talking about for some of these tournaments and maybe even some of these leaderboards are stat based, right? That's just where combat is right now. Um, and they did describe it as definitely being a nonlinear system. So if your hero and my hero have both have 20 strength, we should have a 50-50 chance of winning. But if it separates by a couple points, it's a couple percentage points different. But if it separates by 20 points, it really starts to grow somewhat exponentially the odds of you winning if yours is higher. So that's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
that. It's not linear, which is interesting, right? So if you can separate yourself from, like we were talking about, the pack, you actually do gain a pretty sizable lead. But if it's only 1 or 2 points, it's actually not a whole lot different. So I think that's a very interesting dynamic here as we move forward.
All right. Well, right now I have an Arzor Mind Flayer on the board right now. He's one of your heroes from a Perilous Journey Survivor with stat boost. He's a uncommon Summoner Monk, level 6, and full XP bar here, so ready to go to level 7 as well. Um,
Nice.
let's just go ahead and, I'm going to share my screen here on Discord with you
Sure.
so you can, have a slightly more, visual of what's going on. All right, can you see what I have up right now
I can. Looks
in the
great.
tavern? All right. Well, I wasn't in the tavern. Perilous Journey stat boost. Okay, so we can now flip the heroes around. One of the new features that I really like, the growth icon.
Oh yeah, that's
Over
awesome.
here, because this is what I used anyways, except I went and looked over on their Google Docs. And so what I've been doing for combat is just taking, the min-max approach, where you're putting all of your stat points towards a hero's, well, if they're a professioner by trade, then I put it into whatever the relevant profession quests are. Otherwise, they go into the combat quest, or into the combat stats. So,
Yep.
with this guy, what do you want to do?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. So first of all, given that he is a summoner, and if you flip him back around, right, his percentages are way high for wisdom and intelligence. So those are the two that pretty much seem like no-brainers
Sure.
for a summoner. And then given that he's also combined with gardening, it's really tempting to just throw it into vitality to get him that extra boost to
Okay.
match his profession. But there's the other play here is possibly agility.
Mm,
Because so agility is somewhat of a speed, and
it is.
this is where we're trying to plan this out, right? So I don't know, what are you feeling? You feeling agility or vitality
I'm feeling
for the
vitality. I
third?
mean, because they are kind of 50, they're both 50%. And then if we look at, the boosts, or if you look at your base stats, you have
Yep.
11 in agility so far, and you have 14 in vitality. And so that kind of pushes it over the edge for me, where I'd be like, let's just stick in vitality, which is
Yeah.
already growing for you.
And I think you're right. And then I think the other point that does is that also boosts his health over time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you're
Now,
absolutely right. I think you nailed it.
notwithstanding, I have started to become a huge proponent of agility. So, in most other
Sure.
circumstances, you'll see me talking out at the other end of my mouth. All right, so we're
No,
going to do.
but I mean, in this particular hero's case, I think that's absolutely right. I mean, that's the right play.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. He's boosted, I think. Pending results.
Yeah, MetaMask will do its thing. The chain
Yes.
will,
Yes, of
the chain
course.
has to achieve consensus.
Yes. All right, confirmed
Sweet.
transaction.
Look at
Cool.
that. There it is.
Really
Plus
cool.
fives. That's pretty cool. Awesome.
Well, now, while I'm sitting on a surplus of Shavas runes, I'll go ahead and send him back to you for the for the level up.
Yep. Oh, I got tons of them. I had enough
Yeah.
heroes. I had enough runes to level up all my heroes had they returned, but since very few returned, I have an abundance of runes.
Yeah. All right. So next
Ooh,
we
look at
have
this guy.
one of my favorites, Volun Hydra Striker. He was my
Double
first
rare.
guy to level 5. Yeah, summon Paladin. So
Nice.
those, I don't know if they really go great together or not. But I think it's I guess that vitality
It does. Yep.
is probably the one place where that exists, and so he might just like your summoner. That might be the place where I go with mine as well. Although I have
Mm.
not been upgrading. I've been going the agility front with him because he's a fisher. And so when I have been upgrading him,
Ah.
that's often where that third boost goes. So that's probably where I will stick to.
Yeah,
Because
because you'll
right,
be over 20 then. So he'll
right,
be he'll be a fast cast kind of guy, right?
yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. So I'm gonna follow the same kind of. We're actually gonna do almost the exact same, except just switch to agility right afterwards. And I did not know that these were coming one right after the other, so that's kind of funny.
Well, and I think, as an uncommon gardener, I think that character for me is probably going to be a quester. I don't think he's really combat material, so I think putting it in vitality to match the profession made perfect sense.
Yeah,
And with how you've been leveling this guy, I think again, that just seems like the natural right choice.
yeah.
So there it is.
All right. Well, let's get to leveling up, and let's go to the meditation circle. I'll
So yeah, let's
get
see a
you
roll.
advice. All right. So first off, let's level up our monk.
Ooh, the Gen Zero.
Yeah, the Gen Zero
So,
here.
so what are we gonna put in for a crystal?
Yeah, great question.
Uh,
Um, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that first.
oh man.
So
So
should
first
we
of all, can you
do?
bring up the percentages on the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's
Monks
let's take a peek.
are real even all across the board, and we
Heal
have been focusing on his agility because he is also a fisher, and so that's what.
and
And
dexterity.
his dexterity has been just kind of leveling up as well. So I think for sure we want agility, and when you look at the growth percentages, they're all tied. That's
Mm-hmm.
tied for the highest. So I think it's agility, dexterity, and then I'd probably pick the stat that's highest next, and we have a tie for vitality and
And I
strength.
think I think vitality. Oof, but then look at your. Oof, man, they're so close. Vitality is going to give him extra hit points too. So
And it's early on in his life too, so I
yeah,
think I might do vitality. What do you think?
I
Well,
think
I guess
so.
he's our guy, so we both get to pick.
Yeah, I think that's my vote. I think vitality makes sense to me. So
Okay.
then the question is this is what we were kind of going to get into maybe next time, but yeah, how do you pick a crystal? Because I feel
Yeah.
like you want to pick it based on the secondary roll, right?
Mm.
Because the primary rolls are actually 5 or 10%, which is relatively small.
What's
So
and you're gonna have to help remind me here. What's a vigor? A
let me
crystal
pull up my
vigor.
docs real quick. Vigor is, where did it go? That is vitality.
Okay, so then should we do that?
Well, let's go. So that's going to give that is that a lesser? It's a lesser, so that's plus 15. So he's going to have like almost a 30% chance for the secondary roll.
Ooh, okay. And then
So that's still fairly
what's it
low.
do to the primary?
The primary roll is 5% extra.
Ooh, that's not very good.
So that gives you, you're at about two-thirds.
Yeah. All right. So what's his
The only other
leading?
one I could see would be
Oh shoot.
dexterity, would be the one that maybe.
Yeah.
That's all right. We'll pick them again.
Oh, right
Yeah, I
here.
love that it does that.
Yeah.
Oh, remember. Cool.
Now you'll have to tell me based on picture.
Yes.
Insight.
Purple? No, I don't know.
Yeah. What's insight?
Insight is wisdom. So you're
This.
looking for finesse.
All right. So I'm looking for
We might
finesse.
not. Do you have it? We might not have any finesse.
Nope. That's a wit. I clearly don't have my wits about me. All right. Might. Insight again. Fortune? No.
That's luck.
Finesse. Here's a lesser finesse.
There you go.
All
And
right.
you do have a
Yeah.
pile of those.
I
So does
do.
that seem to make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'll jump back over to growth percentage.
So
Dexterity is
that's
20.
Dex.
So you go up to 35. Is it plus 15%, you said?
Yep,
It's
35 for a
35%?
lesser, and then
Okay.
it'll be 65 at the top. So I mean, that gives you a leading chance in dexterity on the primary, and it gives you more than a 1 out of 5. So I think that's where I'm at. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, what's ECR 20 burn amount exceeds allowance?
Oh, you got to approve the contract down there at the bottom. See, we're new here.
Oh.
You haven't told it they can spend your crystals yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think all the tokens on chain are basically implemented as Harmony's version of ERC20 tokens that they
Got it.
basically
Got it.
yoinked from Ethereum.
All right. Well, it's still spinning a thinking wheel on the lesser finesse. Oh, here we go.
There it is. There's the first one approved. Cool.
Hero level up.
Level 7. Start that fishing. It's
Get her
gonna be pulling
going.
in some awesome fish with those boosts once we get the boost applied.
All right, 15 seconds. It's making for great YouTube, all this fumbling around.
Yeah, everybody's gonna have to go through it.
Yeah.
They Some people just get to watch us. Is there any questions in the chat maybe while we're sitting here?
Yeah, let me go bounce over there. No new questions right now. Yeah, so go ahead and, YouTube, throw some questions out. We're coming to about the close. We have one more level up we're hoping to do, or maybe a couple more levels ups that we're hoping to do tonight. I have a mythic archer and a mythic thief. If there's anyone who wants to
Ooh.
throw those out as possibilities, or maybe even Neindorf, you have a legendary warrior who came back who we could level up and boost if you're really interested.
Boy.
Didn't you have a legendary warrior come back? I think.
Yeah, there was. Yep, yep.
Okay.
He was my one of 3 good characters that made it. The worst of the good characters, I might add.
Yeah. All right. Completing the ritual.
Yeah, this is the hero that we briefly thought about potting to level 10 to participate, but we realized how many thousand jewels was going to cost us, and then we said, nope.
$10,000. Yeah.
Oof.
Well,
Ouch.
maybe it worked on the dexterity primary. You
Yep,
don't know. We got, it's funny actually where we wanted our boosts were in vitality, dexterity, and strength, and that's where we got our primary boosts on.
that's
So,
true.
I've seen worse rolls. I
For a
believe
monk,
it or
this is
not.
actually kind of common.
Yeah, yeah,
But
not
yeah,
too bad. I don't
yep,
know, and I don't know if we've given him a health stone yet either. So
I
that could
don't
be
believe so.
something that we could do. Let's go ahead and before I send him on to Walton, I'm gonna go send him out for a fishing trip here.
That's right. Got to get that silver fin.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna send out Volun Hydra Striker as well. And
There you
with a
go.
name like Hydra Striker, he rips when he goes out on the boat.
Oh,
I'll
and a
tell you what.
fishing too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
All right, so I'm gonna bounce back over to YouTube. All right, we got someone said they tried a JHW3D said he tried a lesser vitality crystal earlier. I wonder if people who sent out level 10s are going to stand pot them to level 20 is his question. I mean,
Oof.
it's now an opportunity. Actually, we just talked about this briefly. Well, the value of runes before we jumped on
Yep.
YouTube. I think I might go sell my Moksha runes actually right now because right now Shavas runes you said are worth what about 1 jewel per rune?
Let me pull it up. I think it's about one. It's a little. over like 1.25 roughly. And I think when I had checked last, the moksha were about 4.25 joule per.
Yeah, Shavas. I'll
So
pull it up.
there's definitely a spread.
Oh yeah, I'll pull it up right now. One Shavas is 1.2
Yep, yep, that's
runes.
about right.
And then let's look up the Moksha.
Man, at this point, you're better off just typing. Oh, there it was.
Did you see it?
I think so.
Oh, right there.
Moksha, yeah, there it is.
6, 4. So I'm going to go ahead and put my money where my mouth is. Ooh, that's a big price jump. That's a big price jump. I'll be
But
selling
you're gonna
them.
put at least a little bit of your money where your mouth
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I am not foolish enough to get an 8% change in price. Has anyone done like the math of is it worth peddling these out one at a time
That's a great question. I'm not sure.
versus
I
we
know
need
the
some statistician to come in here and help prove that out to
I would
us.
say, I would say the Uniswap version 2 contract that runs this DEX probably knows better, and it will not let you take advantage of it. It is pretty much the smart contract that rules most DEXs. So
Well, hold on. Well, I just sold 2 for 4.2 joules here. So, we'll keep going.
I think what happens is that's your worst case, right? I
Oh,
don't know
right.
that that means it would have moved that much.
Oh, fair enough.
So it gets real tricky.
Well, and it started to move already here.
Did
Oh, and
that one fail to
yeah,
sell?
it did fail to sell. So yeah, right. It's I'm not outsmarting anything tonight.
It's almost like people have tried this before.
Yeah. All right. So let's do. If we don't have any other questions, and no one else wants to watch us on the marketplace, um,
Oh, this is entertaining to me.
right? Yeah, it's just funny. Yeah, another one failed to sell. Okay. Let's go to the meditation circle. Do you want to do? So I was very fortunate that I got a couple mythics that came back. I was expecting
Yeah, I
my
mean,
strategy was I
let's do
go
a
out
level
and
five.
yeah, sounds good. All right, so let's do a level 4, who will then go to level 5, and then we can boost him after that. Um, I guess
I would say if you're going to do,
the only way you do it differently is if you were going to boost vitality, right?
yes, I think so.
Okay. So let's, which I won't do on either the archer or the thief.
That's kind of what I figured.
Okay, so let's go ahead and grab the thief first.
You got all your bad luck out of the way with that last one too. So
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. All right, so I am. Oh my gosh, my screen's going crazy here. I'm trying to min max luck on this guy. He's boosted luck. So I'm gonna pick luck first, and then I'm a big fan of agility right now, so I'm going there next. And then right now I'm kind of, if you look at the thief level up, dexterity and strength are both split. What do you think is going to pan out for thieves and ninjas? And
I
dexterity,
can't
I
see.
believe they say in this thing,
Yeah,
it's a modifier to weapon usage, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I can't see strength being a whole lot of useful for a thief or a ninja. I feel like it's speed and
And
maneuverability and yeah, I
dexterity.
feel like dexterity from a
Oh,
RPG, sort of standpoint seems to make sense to me.
all right. And then what's a luck crystal?
Fortune, I believe. I think it's the circle, it's the donut.
Ah, I don't have a donut. No,
Well,
wait,
what is it?
that's
The
that's
donut
a
with the crystal
stone.
through it? Yeah, it's the one with the crystal through it.
Oh,
Middle
right,
row.
right. Fair enough. All right, yeah,
There
you're
you
right.
go.
Fortune. I have one.
So you'll have to approve that one as well. Every
I
every
will.
token has its
Yeah.
own approval button. Yep.
So is that worth leveling up? Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that's gonna push. Yeah, so then you're gonna be over 70. Yeah, in my opinion, I think that's a smart play to because it's also the blue. So that's something else. You should probably also it's probably easier, more beneficial to boost blue genes because they already have a boost.
Good point. Good point. So it's going to go up to 73 for primary, and then 35-ish for secondary.
Yep.
Cool. And then I'll get my level 5 bonus here as well.
Yeah,
So,
he's gonna gain a bunch of stats here in like no time.
all right.
This is
So
gonna be this is gonna be cool.
this is going to be fun.
What do they get? Is it 5 or 7? It's a lot of points for level 5. I can't remember.
I can't
I don't
remember.
have any mythics anymore, so I don't know. uh, I'm gonna have to go buy one now that I said that. Excuse me.
There you go. All right. Any guesses in YouTube on how many bonuses we're gonna get? What do we think? Where do we think luck's gonna end up?
I think you'll get the primary role for sure. Secondary, I'm not sure yet.
All right, completing the ritual.
Yeah, going to level 5. This is gonna be a big one.
I'm really hoping I get a lucky roll on my luck, so I get the boost there, and not all in like wisdom and intelligence.
Or if you maybe you'll end up with a strength. I could see him getting a strength.
Yeah,
And
hot dog.
ooh,
I got 3 on agility and 2 in luck on the rarity bonuses. And 2 in strength. That I am thrilled. I could care less about the 1 in wisdom and 1 in intelligence and 1 in endurance. I don't know. I'm
wow.
pretty thrilled here, man. The 3 in agility on a thief, I feel like that's good. His agility was kind of lacking behind. And then I got 1, the 2 on the rarity bonus, the 1 on the bonus,
Mhm.
regular bonus, and the primary on luck. And so now he went to 22 luck. That's
And he still get a boost yet too, doesn't he?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
Now I get to
boy.
boost him up. So and
So he
agility,
just got he just added 10 basically to luck is what I just heard.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty much it. All right, so let's go do that. Let's go do that boost right now. All right, so we got luck, we got agility, and what do you think?
Mm.
Dexterity or strength? Oh man, I almost gotta stick with
Oof.
strength.
Now that he's higher,
Now that he's higher, I think I gotta stick with strength, man. Don't you think?
I mean, otherwise you're 4 points behind. It's barely going to catch you up. So he's going to be, well,
Or
and it
do I just
depends.
round him out on strength
That's
or
what I was
on
going to say.
dexterity?
You can have 2 stat points that are super maxed, and your rest, if you're rounded out, actually could be bad or good. Otherwise, if you start to fall short in dexterity, maybe that ends up being a detractor. I don't
I
know. That's a hard call.
I agree. I think dexterity with the thief, it's gonna be like he uses a special weapon, and I think it will be. I think the way that weapons will work is that your dexterity will let you be more effective with them, but your base strikes will be based on your strength stat. And so even
Sure.
like your special strikes will be like it'll be like 90% of your dexterity plus 10% of your strength on a special strike, something like that. So
Oh
I
yeah.
do think that strength is going to play a role, but probably for the class like a thief and a ninja, I think dexterity is ultimately going to have a higher percentage value that contributes towards. So that's what I'll go
Yep.
with. All right, so luck, agility, dexterity.
Yeah, and I'm totally feeling like the thief is the hand-to-hand critical damage
Oh yeah,
hero.
with
And
that
I
with
feel
that
like
luck damage. Yeah,
Archer's probably a ranged crit hit. I can't see a pirate being a crit hit. I just don't see it.
right. All right, so let's look at. I have to go look now at heroes that are 27 luck and higher.
Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump over to the tavern. Hero catalog. don't know. I have not looked at this, so I don't know if it's. I think luck is trending a little behind all the other stats because it does not level up at the same rates.
Yep.
Um,
There's no hero that maxes at like 85% like
right. So 27. There are 13 heroes. Hot damn. And
wow.
mine is level 5.
After, oh my gosh.
That is crazy good. I'm
I
stoked,
didn't
man.
realize it was that low.
Right here. Here I am.
Wow. Dude, that's
13.
awesome.
I'm really stoked. And I will say, like, I did. I mean, this is something that we talked about before. I didn't, just luck into the luck strategy here.
Yeah, sure, sure.
And it wasn't all my idea either. I followed, Petrify on Twitter, and he's someone who came up with some ideas on combat mechanics, and he has a thief that he's trying to max right now. I'm
Hopefully one
guessing.
of these.
Yeah, it's definitely one of these right here. It's this one. Yeah, Petrify right here. So he's at 29 strength, and so here I am. I'm level 5. I'm trying to catch him, and it looks like I have the chance to do that
Dude,
with
that's
my
pretty
guy who has
sweet.
27. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. And I see he did not send his guy on the perilous on the PJ. So,
Hmm.
but I think that was probably a good choice for him. He's the
Because
only
of
one
how high
who
it already is.
he's the only one who no one two guys didn't go on PJ. Oh, and the other guy's level 10. So
Yeah, there it is.
yeah, well
So that,
that's
yeah, so his character is very high level for not having Perilous Journey and for only being level 6. So yeah, I totally see that.
yeah for sure. Yeah, that made sense for him to not. That was risking a lot. Whereas you know, my strength, Dark Knight, I probably should have sent him. Oh well, I'll let
Yep.
bygones be bygones. Okay, well that was fun. I don't know. Do you want to do another one?
It's up to you. I mean, I think we've probably given a good show for
Yeah,
um
yeah,
what we've got. I think at this point I would love to see if there are any of our, in our Discord, please people post some pictures. I want to see other people's level ups. It's just fun to talk about and to see what people's how they roll, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know.
yeah. I agree. And I think as much as I got a few good rolls here today, or tonight, I'll probably have 5 more bad rolls after we get off the call. That's just kind of the way that things go. So,
Yep, it
um,
all balances.
yeah, it sure does. All right, well, jumping onto YouTube chat here and a few other questions. There's some excitement on the luck rolls there. Yeah, I'm pretty excited at that. Jonathan Hicks said, "Do you know if you can use different crystals on the same hero? For example, lesser might stone on a level 4, then a lesser swiftness stone on 5 to 6." And I assume he's meaning levels 5 and 6. Yeah, I believe you can, right, Nandorf?
Yeah, you can use any crystal on any level up. There's the only ones that you're limited are the atonement ones for the oopsies is. Otherwise, yeah, you're free to choose on every level up a new what you want to choose at that moment. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Well, thank you for joining me. I've been, missing our chats, and it's been kind of funny being away on vacation. It's been I've been away from work as much as I've been away from play, and it's been kind of hard cutting that addiction for a little bit. So. Looking forward to this last leg of my vacation, being able to jump on, do some quests, and keep things moving along. Well, I guess one last thing I'll do. Let's just see what our heroes haul in here. Maybe they'll bring another blue egg. Maybe
Ooh,
my,
there
my
you
hot
go.
streak will my hot streak will continue. But yeah, I was on the fence on sending this summoner Volun Hydra Striker. Um, but he was such a high, combat percentage that I was like, I gotta send him in order to kind of keep with the pack, so to speak.
Yep,
So
no doubt.
send him along. I'm really feeling good that he made it. I think he's going to, especially since I lost my Sage, he's going to help round out my battle team for sure. All right.
What? Let's see it here. See some fish. Oh,
Whew. All right. We got some bloaters.
some bloaters. What do you figure, right?
Fishing
Got a
skill
level.
increased. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. That's
Not a
that's
bad way to end it.
yeah. That's good. Okay. So did they say when they're dropping next level quests then?
They didn't yet. It's soon. I think that'll probably be coming with. See, this is me hypothesizing a little bit. I kind of think all of these features are somewhat intertwined. Like if they wanted to have advanced quests you have to travel to, so you'd have to have the traveling system, the advanced quest system, and all of that sort of done at once. So I kind of feel like you'll see a big bang of some of these features all starting to come out here real soon.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for that. All right. Well, you have a good night, Ninedorf. Take care, and we'll chat soon. And thank you very much for our viewers that showed out.
You bet. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Bye now. Okay.